Good morning, everyone. I hope they are having an amazing day. A few videos ago, I shared that we were working on a special project for our dining room, and I am so excited that I finally get to show you what we've been working on. My husband's family owns a farm, and on the farm there used to be this old big barn. The barn was in the family through multiple generations. It was getting to the point though where the barn really needed to be rebuilt before it became unsafe, especially since we were actively using it for a hay barn. The barn was taken down beam by beam, and as part of the agreement we were able to keep some of the wood with the family. When I first met my husband, something that made me fall in love with him was hearing all of the stories about what it was like growing up on the farm, and the barn was a part of that. How do you capture the history and those memories? We really thought about it, and we thought a great way to honor the barn would be by building a dining table out of the wood. My husband and I designed this table, but we hired someone to build it, and the couple that built this for us did such an amazing job. The wife really said it the best, that the wood that the family once gathered under as a barn, we now get to gather around as a table. As far as some of the design elements, we did get input from the family before we had this built. We are hoping that the table and the wood will continue to stay with future generations. Something that my husband and I really wanted was statement legs, and I'm so happy that our family loved that idea as well. However, I know that these legs may not be everyone's cup of tea, so the table was built in a way that those legs can be removed and replaced. The rest of the table, I really wanted to preserve the wood as much as possible. They softened the edges for us. Let's see. Hopefully you guys can see some of the weathering and the texture. They put a clear and matte wax coat over the wood, which really brought out this beautiful honey color. I love, you can still see there's even some nails in the table. Over on this side, and focus. Hopefully you guys can see. It looks like this may be tool marks. I just even love, you can see the holes, see through to the floor. I was hoping on filming the day that this table was delivered, but to be honest, I'm just still speechless. This table, we knew no matter what we were going to love the table, because obviously it means so much to us, but it's just perfect. I don't even know if you guys can see. We don't even have the proper felts for the feet yet. I know that I'm still new to YouTube, but this is exactly what I was hoping for when I started my channel, just being able to share these really happy moments with all of you. And if you have any traditions that are special to you and your family, or if there's anything that you pass down, I would love to hear that in the comment section down below. We're already getting a ton of questions from our family about what we're planning on doing for dining chairs, and we did just want to see how the table was going to look in the space first before we purchased anything. It looks like we still have a ton of room for whatever style chair we decide to go with. We are, of course, looking at antique chairs. The only thing that you have to be careful with some antique furniture is that can be a little lower to the ground, and this is a standard height for a dining table, so it may just take us a little bit longer if we decide to go that route, which is fine. But if you guys have any chair ideas or any furniture stories you think that we should take a look at, definitely feel free to leave any of those comments down below. I have a fun video planned to celebrate the barn. I'm gonna quickly finish my coffee, send some emails out to work. I'm wearing this sweater because it was freezing out this morning, but it looks like it's turning into a really beautiful day. So I'm gonna finish getting ready. I might go get changed as well, and I will see you in a little bit. While we were clearing out the barn, we came across so many amazing items. I put aside some of my favorites to share with you today. As we have been incorporating these into our home, it's made me realize how much warmth and character they're adding. Since this is our first home, we needed a lot of things, and I really have enjoyed decorating some of these older pieces because we're hoping to balance out those new purchases. There are quite a few vintage and antique items I'd love to share with you. In today's video, I'm going to just focus on the ones that we recovered from the barn, and then I will make a future video sharing some other fun finds because you're going to see them throughout my home. I'm going to stop rambling. Let's get started. The property used to be an old dairy farm, so there were a ton of these milk canisters. They had different silhouettes and they were in different conditions. When we were cleaning out the barn, we invited family, neighbors over to see if they wanted anything, and everyone left with a couple of these. It was just so fun to hear others' ideas for theirs. I personally think these look amazing with overflowing flowers. I'm planning on working on these a little bit more once the weather gets warmer. I have always wanted one of these large glass jugs, so I was shocked when I saw this in the barn. I've seen these being sold for starting $90, so this was an amazing find. On the bottom it has the name as well as the year 1977. I did some research and I found that this came from a lab supply company, so I'm just so curious to know how this ended up in the barn or what they may have used it for. I've seen people fill these with branches from outside. I'm planning on doing the same. I'm just excited to see as the seasons change what I can find for it. I'll bring you over to this next item since it is so large. It is this wooden sled, and I think this is going to be amazing to have out during the holidays. We can have it next to our tree, stack presents on it. I think this would make for a fun centerpiece. You can put flowers or food on it as well. There were a couple of these in the barn and they were really dirty. I'm so happy that we chose this one though, because as we were cleaning it up, we noticed that this one has holly leaves and holly berries painted on it, so it's going to be perfect to have out during the holidays. I don't know if you can see some of the green paint up there. Actually, bring you down here. You should be able to see it better. Yeah, I think my camera is picking it up. There is the red border right there and holly leaves and berries. I just love the grain on the wood. Yeah, this one's gonna need a lot of love and attention though. I believe the wood may have split here, so I'll have to fix that up. My husband also wants to clean up the metal a little bit more since it's rusted, and we'll also have to replace the rope that was really frayed. We're also still trying to decide what we're going to do with the wood itself. We're between touching up the paint or leaving it as is. I'm leaning more towards putting a clear finish on it. I really like that you can still see so much of the original paint. Either way, definitely make sure to keep an eye out for this around our home during the holidays, and I'll also remember to keep you updated. This is a wooden Ketchup tray that used to belong to my husband's grandfather. He used it to store bolts and screws. My husband cleaned it up and stained it. We currently use it to hold our keys. These trays are great for so many different things. I think that this particular tray would also be really nice for hosting. In the larger compartments, we could put napkins and utensils. In the smaller compartments, salt and pepper shakers. I'm really glad that we picked this up to remember Cody's grandfather, and it really has been very useful. Thank you so much for joining me today. All of these items mean so much to me and my family, and it's just so special that I get to share them with you and now have them around our home to spark memories. I really enjoy hearing stories from my husband and father-in-law. I'll let you go and I'll